Got such long hair. Bloody hell. My internet's quite slow, actually. Or is it just YouTube? Alright. Whew. I always get such a whiplash from there being no sound effects in the game. I'm totally expecting it. It's probably good for my sanity though, right? Alright, I mean we did these outlines last time, right? There's a few things I want to do now. I'd like to make it so when you buy a weapon, it like floats above the shop, up and down. Because currently it just sits there in space. I think it would be cool if it bobbed up and down a little bit. Let's do that. What was it called? Easings.net. I mean, E-Dark Cubic already looks kind of okay. Sine wave modulation with time. I think you just shove time into the sine wave, right? But I was just wondering how it works with amplitude and modulation. I remember watching this roller video talking about it. What's the graphing website called again? Graph website. Desmos. Is there maybe an example project? Desmos sine modulating sine. There we go. Y is... and then they've got a bunch of things you can do with it. Modulating sine wave. I have a feeling I can just crack something together very lazily with we get frame info dot delta time. We shove sine around that. Multiply that by this. And then the frequency bit I don't know. Maybe this is multiplied by frequency. I'm kind of making this up. Something like that. Something like that. Kind of making this up. But sine gives you a value of... is it between -1 and 1 or 0 and 1? I think it's -1 and 1. If I pass in time, so it's constantly changing, I multiply it by the frequency. Maybe this needs to go somewhere else. Because I think the default frequency should be 1 second, right? And then the amplitude is what I want to do with that big -1 to 1, I think. What does Reddit have to say? Hello, Matt. I'm a little tired. How are you? Oh, regardless. Let's see what this does anyway. Doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe it's not much of a big deal. Actually, it looks like it should be doing it. Hello, Med. Yeah, why not? Maybe just changing the depth is not good enough. Let's experiment. Interesting. I think the depth thing should be correct. I'm gonna be real with you. Oh, it is working. Oh, I guess it's just doing a really small difference. It's not multiplying it by tile size. Set it to 16, then maybe that's tile size. What does it mean when you write a variable and put minus before it? It means minus? Like the maths thing. Okay, I've got something a little bit wrong here. Maybe delta time's not right. I thought it would be. I'm kind of making this up as I'm going along. That looks exciting. You thought it was something else because of pointers. You can decrement a pointer. I wouldn't recommend it. I think I'm not using this correctly. What if I just use 1 and 1? How does that look? Maybe just Wikipedia for sign. How strange. A sine function with a time models a repeating wave with yt equals a sine wt plus whatever that O means. Oscillations? Phase shift? Come on, Wikipedia. It is called a sine wave, I know that. Sine waves of arbitrary phase and amplitudes are called sinusoids and have a general form. Hello, COD. I'm reading Wikipedia instead of trying to make up maths myself. I'm not smart enough for that, apparently. Yeah, so it says y time, which is the value we want, is equal to amplitude multiplied by sine. So I kind of had that. And then inside the sine function, you have angular frequency multiplied by time plus phase. Specifies in radians where in the cycle the oscillation is at. So usually that's 0. So actually I might have nearly had it. I'm gonna be honest. How far off am I? I think depth bias is correct, by the way. I don't know about this whole fake Y thing. I think the Z should be correct. Anyway, I guess we can put this on the front if you want to match Wikipedia. It shouldn't matter, but they're saying that amplitude and then multiplied by the value of sine, where you pass in frequency multiplied by time, which is exactly what I did. Okay, actually, hang on, maybe I did just get it, but the numbers I'm using are wrong. Because then you can plus time, but plus your phase, but I'm not using phase. Look at the title, COD Play from India. It should tell you all you need, and the description. There should be lots of information. What am I looking for? Desmos. Let's look at Desmos. So I can make this on Desmos, right? I can say yp equal amplitude times sine time times frequency. I'm guessing t is time by default. What? Hello, Colin. I'll be honest, I think the maths here is correct. So why does it look like shit? You're Lindley. Oh, hi. Maybe delta time's not... I kind of thought delta time would be okay. If my frequency is 1 and my amplitude is 1, I should expect the sine wave to go up and down every second, I thought. Ish. Something like that, at least. It should go up and down by 1, which should be a whole block. What am I missing? I'm gonna print this out. No, printing never fucking works, does it? Look in the description, COD Play. How did you make a 3D game look 2D? I don't know how to answer that. It looks the way it looks. I haven't written 3D stuff. I haven't made the graphics in 3D. Anyway, depth bias plus equals, and then I think we can shove that into... Well, hang on, let's say... I'm gonna call it Bob. I'm gonna try this, and I'm also gonna try FMT print line depth bias, because I want to see. You're in the middle of prepping your lab for tomorrow. It's all nerdy Linux stuff. Nice. How's the game going? Pretty good, thanks. I don't know the last time you were here, but there's like upgrades and we made this outline shader last time I'm really proud of. You see this? There's all sorts. I don't know where to catch you up. The revolver has a right click which shoots like McCree's thing. Kind of inaccurately, but like it shoots all the rest of your bullets. There's all sorts. I'm currently trying to make a basic sine wave work, and I'm kind of confused as to why it's... Like, it's printing it out. It kind of looks like it's not really doing much, doesn't it? It's barely changing. So why is... that? I thought the amplitude in this case was 1 and the frequency was 1. Hang on, delta time is 0.002? What? Okay, maybe delta time's a bad idea. Maybe elapsed time. That's probably what's been going wrong. Because delta time is just between frames, and if the game is playing at like 500 FPS, I'm guessing the delta time's just tiny. This is all good, thanks. I'm trying to reverse engineer very basic secondary school maths, because that was the one lesson in school that I was ill for, with almost perfect attendance. It's when they fucking taught sine and cosine, and they never went back to it again. Okay. I think it is, the depth is changing, but the Y isn't. So that's just fine. I think we do need that fake Y then. Additional Y. Hey Negativity, it's nice to see that you're alive. I had to find out via Kyobi. He ratted on you. He said you've been playing other games. It's nice to see you're doing okay. I know I should be asking you how you're doing, but it's nice to occasionally know you still exist. Not that I worry or anything, but it's like I wonder what you're up to. You have like a job and stuff? Are you still at uni? Like what's going on? It's okay, Cod. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I just not the ones that are in the FAQ. PBH depth bias should also be increased by that much, right? I don't know if it's plus equals or minus equals, so we're about to find out. Almost finished your year of work. You're going back to uni in September, October, and then you've got like a year left or what? The game dev's been good. I've been making a ton of progress. If you cut back like... I said fighting. If you cut back like a tiny bit in time, you'll see a very different looking game. Hey, look! Where's he going? That's not quite right. Okay, that's... You know, the thought's there. Why is it doing that? It's because of the easing function I'm using, I guess. Ease out cubic bob is probably not working. We'll try it like this, and then I'm going to go back to the factory, and I'm going to change the amplitude to 2 seconds. I'll say the frequency to 2 seconds and the amplitude to 0.5, and we'll see how that looks. You spent the last 4 weeks on tasks that should have been easy, but courtesy of Git and tech debt has been a massive headache. Oh, at work. How much experience do you have now at work? How many months have you been an adult with a career for? Wow, look. They said it wasn't possible, but he's successfully kind of worked out. 10 months. That's some amazing experience. Try something like this. And then I'll try and find an easing function that does work with it. I see there's ease in sine, but I think that uses a sine wave. You're much better off for it. I've been trying to tell you this for a long time. Your worldview changes when you have an adult job. Now, does this dip behind your head as I would want it to? Not really. I feel like the depth thing isn't working. The world seems miserable at the moment, so you're trying to look at the world. It is miserable, that's true. There's no solution. Oh, Mimi. Your company is awesome. That's really good to hear. Do you think there's a chance they could offer you a job after university? I think the depth bias is not quite working. I would expect it to kind of go behind your head and in front of your head, but it's not clearly doing that. I'm going to try minus. And then while I'm at it, in the old factory, let's change the frequency and the amplitude just a little bit more. I can try a new function as well. I'm on easings.net. They have an ease in out, an ease in sign, which we can try. What project am I working on? Okay, that's an old the Woho thing's an old thing. Is it hard to learn C# for Unity or not? I think you could learn it if you're patient. I don't see why not. There's ease in out sign. We were using cubic. We can try ease in out sign. We could try. What was wrong with this? I don't know. Which one's the current one? The FAQ. I mean, it's still a you know what? It's still a top-down bullet hell game, but it's not really like Toho anymore, I guess. Hey, people of Twitch chat, glad to see you all doing good, says Lindley. I'm gonna try this ease in out sign thing from easings.net. We copying and pasting off the internet. No idea. I'm just going to try plugging this in and see how it looks. Maths, huh? I don't know what that is, COD. How's the gym going? It's going alright. I kind of injured myself the other day. You can see here, I fell off my bike in the car park, so I scraped myself pretty bad. And I've got quite a lot of bruises going up and down the arm, actually. You can't see them, but, you know. Minus the exclamation mark, I've got some muscle somewhere. You can kind of see it. That's nice. That's awesome. Thanks. I think it's honestly the progress is not so bad. The last time I went, like I fell off my bike and then just went to the gym anyway. I was okay. I had a tiny bit of blood on the inside of my trackies, but it's fine. I did pretty good. Like I got a bunch of PBs and stuff. Nuclear Throne and Gungeon Energy sounds good with all the spill expression stuff. Thanks, bud. How's the enemy room design coming along? I'm not in content creation mode right now, so a lot of stuff's fairly placeholder. I'm still building the engine. It's a very, very long progress. Like, a goal right now is to get a vertical slice done, so there'd be like a playable level 1 with, like, you know, a proper gameplay loop and a boss, and then you can loop and do whatever, just to test out the gameplay. For now, the engine is the focus, not trying to make like balanced gameplay or anything. Like, I can give them their guns back and enable health and all that, but you know, whatever. This is not like really balanced or representative of gameplay, but you kind of get the idea. There's a lot of things missing from balance, obviously, like the fact that all the enemies have every gun. I imagine in the level 1 of the actual game, having a bunch of enemies with the the sniper rifle early on is not a great idea, but yeah. Also, just generally trying to do balance in debug mode is difficult because, as you can probably tell, dealing with anything particle related in debug mode is painful. This all runs at 1 trillion FPS on release, but everything needs debug symbols in this mode, so flamethrower in particular is very heavy. But yeah, anyway, I was working on the upgrades right now, and you can see I originally had like an upgrade system where you yeah, this easing doesn't look very good. I originally had a system where you just got like jump scared with a level up screen. But after some discussion with my partner, we decided it made more sense. Well, I also agreed. I mean, it was an original plan to have upgrade stations like Vermintide, but she made it a very clear point of feedback that it felt it took you a bit out of the action, having like a level up screen. Like, it kind of makes sense in those Vampire Survivors-y games because the actual gameplay is pretty basic, and you're waiting for the loot box, whereas in this, the gameplay was meant to be kind of the focus, so it takes you out of it a bit to constantly be spammed with a level up screen, so having these stations that you run up to, not that they'll spawn like this necessarily, but that doesn't matter for now. You'd go up to them and then buy an upgrade of some kind. It makes more sense. I'm just trying to get them to work nicely. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Hey, Ted. What does it mean day to day? You're writing the code that draws stuff on the screen. I'm doing everything. The engine. Everything you see. That being said, the literal OpenGL functions are being handled by a library, as you can see in the FAQ. But like all the game is stuff I've done. All the systems, everything. Now that's looking nice. I wonder if it's too smooth. Do you think it should be like stepped? Like, do you think I should round it to the nearest 0.1y or something? We're working on it since 2020 or so. I also think it shouldn't just be based on elapsed time, because now they're on the same timer. I'm thinking it should be based on the spawn time. Well, maybe it could be elapsed time plus the spawn time of the object or something. That looks alright. And it's also like, it's like fake bob, so it doesn't actually change the hitbox or anything. You can see. Does it wrap around my head properly? It does. Okay, I just needed to minus that. Isn't that cool? You had an idea of making a simple game with Raylib with Rust. I didn't know Raylib had a Rust thing. Is Raylib very generic? I always thought it was like a C++ thing specifically. You took 1 million classes this summer semester. You've been busy, huh? When are you done, Lindley? I feel like you've been in education for a while. You were doing all those extracurricular things for your computer science course. You'll notice if I look on the hitbox, these things... The hitbox isn't actually moving, it's just the sprite. That's important. It's becoming single game dev is hard. No, it's very easy. You could do it right now. Just start up a project and you're a game dev. There's nothing special. The only special part about game dev is sticking to it when it looks shit, knowing that you have to kind of trust the process a bit, and when you say something is temporary, then that means it's temporary. You shouldn't temper your expectations on prototype art or behavior. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not the world's best pixel artist, but I've gotten better over time. I'm particularly proud of the character art. I think this looks pretty good. The little blue orbs are ammo, but you know, I haven't given them that much thought. I just made a blue orb and, you know, that does it for now. There's also about 100,000 more XP, like, level up stations than you'd really expect. Treat them more like, Risk of Rain stations, where each level would probably have, like, you know, 10 or something total. Something like that. That much, like, game economy is not something I'm even remotely thinking about right now. I just think this is neat, that it goes in front of you and behind you. But yeah, as I said, we got this outline shader working the other stream. You done the art too? I've done everything, yeah. It's nice, isn't it? I'm particularly proud of some of the weapon animations. Like the revolver's quite snappy and satisfying. The sniper rifle's chunky. I like the shotgun a lot. Is there a shotgun on the floor somewhere? I can spawn one in as well. I think the shotgun has really nice animations. You can also see it on the pause screen, I guess. Yeah. It's not bad. Honestly, the hardest thing I've programmed so far is something so invisible you'll never think about it because it works, and thank God. But, the auto tiler that you see, the fact that all these tiles work, and this is probably like 30 hours, 20 to 30 hours of work to get the auto tiler working. There's a lot that goes into game dev that you don't think about. Anyway, I've gotten that small task done. I wanted to see if I could get some basic item rarity stuff going on. I was playing RuneScape recently and I've gotten like a lot of really good drops and it reminded me of how important that is. Maybe I should spend a bit more focus on it. I ideally wanted the weapons to have some sort of like Terraria style prefix on it, where you get like a shoddy revolver and you're like, oh, I guess it works for now. And then you see like a legendary sniper rifle. It does like 25% more damage or something. And you get like a fucking orange glow on the floor. That's nice. Like, the gambling mechanics in Human Brain are fucking real. Christina made a small mining game a long time ago. You like mined a rock and you could get one of like 4 things from it. And I think I got like 4 diamonds in a row and she said they were like 2% drops. Even the dopamine from this like Game Maker prototype game was real. So I want to replicate that in my game as well. What degree is better to get job in game industry? I don't know how good the game dev industry is in India, I'll be honest. There's only a handful of countries that it's like a stable-ish career. I think it's like Finland and I guess China are doing okay. I think Turkey doing okay, but games career is quite rough. You'd have to look up your local advice, to be honest. But I think general computer science degree is always valuable, no matter what happens. Poland? Oh, Poland might do good games as well, yeah. Maybe it's Poland instead of Turkey. I don't remember. Finland, though, I always thought was a really funny one. There's a lot of game studios in Finland. But yeah, computer science is always good. It shows that you have an academic mind and you can solve problems, or at least it did when I did it. Hey, Illusionary. Anyway, enough prattling on. Let's add a very basic component to our weapon. There we go. Oh, is it under actor components, I guess? So, let me think how I want to do this. Currently, modifiers are usually a component, so you can have like a inflamed component, which makes the bullet set stuff on fire. Like, you'll have seen it. It also adds like a fire particle effect to it. I could make the item rarity an extra component, but to be real with it, I think that component will always be on every weapon, and it'll only be on weapons. So it kind of makes more sense for the weapon itself to have the prefix. And oh, perhaps I could have it on... We also have our data classes, right? So we have our weapon data. This is like your sort of defaults. If we wanted to make our life really simple, we could make it so that instead of just fetching stuff like base damage direct from here when we're doing get damage calculations, we could have some helper somewhere that like processes all the various weapon upgrades and whatnot and gives you the damage or the value that you do want. Where are you being read? Is it only in weapon system? Well, you're being added on. Okay, well actually you're being added on in Entity Factory even. And the explosive reload makes use of you. That's fine. So really, it's actually just here in Entity Factory when we add damage to a bullet. So... I think we need to have some kind of calculation on the weapon itself, if that's possible. Spawn bullet only seems to have weapon type right now. Is it hard to get a stable job in the game industry? Famously, yeah. It's much easier to get a stable job in almost any other type of computing. These days. I guess Japan has a lot of game studios. There's a lot of game dev jobs that are basically like project-based. Like you're hired to do a project and then that's the length of your contract. Whereas a normal job, they will hire you until the company downsizes or you get fired, you know? That's my experience. I mean, you'd have to see what the Indian game industry is like. I don't live there, so I can't really help. Maybe it's different. I kind of doubt it. Anyway, my weapon data base damage. But in here you... bullets creator entity. Oh, hang on, we do have creator entity. And I'm guessing creator entity in this case is going to be the weapon that's firing you, so maybe we do just have access to this stuff. Man, I'm knackered. God, this is slow. Yeah, I get that your bullet to fire creator entity, but kindly tell me what you are. Oh, entity. It's the entity with an inventory. So it's actually the player, actually. That's not really what I want. To be honest, we could definitely just store... I wonder if this stuff could be changed. This already looks a little funny. I might need to redo this at some point. I'm gonna turn my fan on. I mean, I see no reason why you can't hold on to the weapon, other than that the weapon... Well, no, we were immediately spawning the bullet right after, aren't we? I don't think there's enough time here for the weapon to be lost. Yeah, you know what? Let's try it now. Weapon shot from. And then spawn bullet, you're going to take a weapon reference as well. Could probably just pass in that struct as well. Yeah, this needs to be redone a little bit. If we have access to the weapon to be shot from here, then I can do all the modifiers on the weapon itself. Get weapon damage and all that. Probably don't need to pass in the weapon data at that point. Weapon type, I should say. Any backup ideas in your opinion? I'm a computer science, like I'm a software engineer, so my advice is only going to be related to software engineering stuff. It seems like a good career still, but I don't know. You have to talk to your peers and see what they like. You're an optional? Oh no, you're not. This is some silly music today. You think it's still worth going for as a slightly younger computer scientist? Slightly? Thank you. How kind. Yeah, I can't say anything about the future of computer science in India, but it's as stable a career as any in the academic field. You know? You sent in your handwritten interview to Canonical, hoping they don't hate you. Canonical? Not the company that makes printers. What was I doing? Oh, I was making sure the weapon still works. Okay, great. So, weapon, you. I'm gonna give you a modifier. I don't really know the best way to do this right now. I'm thinking a weapon modifier shouldn't just be a flat... The weapon modifier should imply what it does. Does that make sense? Like, instead of having the shit weapon modifier be -1 fire rate and the good one be +1 on like a flat graph with all the weapon stats, I think like some of the shit ones should be shit in different ways and some of the good ones should be good in different ways. And then maybe there can be a generally really good one that just maxes everything. Like EVs on a Pokemon. We're functionally doing EVs, I guess, or IVs. I guess IVs. The company that makes Ubuntu. Oh, that company. Good luck, buddy. When you're rich and famous, don't forget about me. I've heard open source pays big. How do they make their money at Ubuntu? Because Red Hat sells to industrial clients. Does Ubuntu have like paid support networks for companies? Someone's making Ubuntu. Analytics, they're very unethical. Damn. You're telling me my operating system's spying on me and it's not Microsoft? Enterprise support. Oh, they do have enterprise support, yeah. Okay, so it's not that dissimilar to Red Hat. I guess the base package is free, but then if you want support for your multi-billion-dollar business, you need to pay the devil. I guess it's similar to like how Oracle's in everyone's fucking pocket. Everyone needs a fucking database or cloud or whatever the fuck Oracle does these days. In India, it's hard to get a job in game companies and get stable. Yeah, I could imagine so. You could do what I do and have like a normal job, normal software development job, and then just do game dev as a hobby. It can be a little tough sometimes, but you don't have to worry about bills as much. I feel like the weapon modifier should be a data or something. And I should load them in. Data-driven development. Do I want that? I mean, I don't have to, but it's usually nicer for people, right? If you make stuff in JSON, it's just a pain in the ass for me. So we can have weapon or weapon modifiers. I guess I could put it under weapons and just have it under a different thing, like I did with particle emitters and particles. Maybe I'll do that. So weapon JSON, we're gonna have all the list of weapons. Great. Very cool. And then we can have modifiers. And how do I want that to look? I think just a list of pairs and stuff is okay. So just to give you an example, we can say damage multiplier, I don't know, 1.5x or something. Prefix. Legendary. I don't know. Rarity. I haven't really figured this much out. I don't know, common, uncommon, rare, legendary. That's pretty normal gaming stuff, right? Well, you could have either damage multiplier or you could have an optional list of modifiers. It's kind of just a pain in the ass to handle JSON in this. We could have legendary, and you can have shoddy. Rarity, 0. Damage multiplier is fucking 0.9, dude. Also rubbish. So you could have an increase to base damage. You're going to increase to magazine size. Magazine size modifier. This can, do I want that to be a multiplier or a modifier? I'll make it a multiplier. I should continue the camel case stuff. Damage multiplier, magazine size multiplier. The entire system is free. Having someone on the phone 24/7 to fix your shit when it hits the walls what costs money. Yeah. You work on a project with 20 people, but you'll do it in your spare time as a hobby. Only maybe 4 of you are super active on any one time. I'm guessing you're working on different game projects, right? You're not all working on the same stuff. Because like a lot of my colleagues, they're not playing games or they're not making games, but they're all working on their own shit, whatever it may be. Spread multiplier, make it higher, I guess. 0.5, I guess, would be that. I'm just thinking of all the options that you could have on one of these modifiers. You got spread, you got shooting, interval, multiplier. I could just call this stuff multipliers. Markipliers. Nah, I think keeping multiplier in there stops it from being confusing. Especially if people want to mod it for whatever reason. Mass multiplier? Maybe it weighs less, so it switches faster, you know. Alt fire, interval multiplier. Same project. Oh shit. You have 100 concurrent players and do it for fun. It's the Gmod ecosystem, so it's kind of camped. Game's been around for 20 years. That's awesome, Bucket. Oh, okay, so wait, maybe I misunderstood. You're in a game development group of 20 people, but you're not all working at the same company? Or are you? I just had this image that you're on a team at work for 20 years with the same group of people, and you've all worked on this Gmod game. It would... In India, current time is 2. You're not sleeping just to ask you some questions by the good night. Hello. You should sleep if you need to sleep, dude. It's more important to look after yourself. I can't answer your questions about working in India, I'm afraid. You just work on it part-time and some of you work on it a lot less. That's fair. I mean, for a long-time project like that, that's a lot of people to work on it, I guess. Have you guys considered making something in Sandbox, or is it really, really different? Is Sandbox... It's out, right? Or is it still in early access? I feel like I'd have heard more about it if it was out. Radius. Bullets per shot. Do you want a gun that randomly adds another bullet per shot? If it's really good, maybe it occasionally shoots a second bullet. I don't know about that. Penetrates multiplier? I think it shouldn't be a multiplier, I think it should be additional. Ah, doesn't matter for now. We've already got reload interval. Mass kind of takes into account that, but we can have that as well. Oh, ricochet. And if the gun doesn't ricochet, I guess it'll just set it to this by default. Or could have ricochet add additional? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Velocity standard deviation. I'm not gonna start fucking with that. Bullet speed multiplier? Is it handy to have it be slower? Maybe. If you had like a BFG style weapon. No. Let's say you had a legendary one, and the next we have a shoddy one, and the shoddy one is like... it does 0.9 on everything, just to give an example. And it's slightly inaccurate. It shoots a little slower. And it's a little heavier. And it ricochets less and penetrates less. That's the idea, at least. And obviously, I guess you could have a weapon without a modifier. Does that say obviously? You can have an average. Bog standard. Average. Bog standard average. Make it uncommon just so we can test different different colors, I guess. Some of you were going to do a sandbox port, but it's so shoddy how Face Punch did it. Well, if you're able to do standalone, you do Unity or Godot. Sandbox is bad, it's not Source 2. It's not Source 2? Bad performance, nothing about development is said. Well, yeah, I've heard horror stories about the documentation. Weapon rarities, yeah. Just something new to work on. It doesn't need to be fancy right now. I just need to have some base implementation in place. So, average... what's a... maybe 0 can be like shit tier, 1 can be common, uncommon, rare. Let's just call it what it is. Better. Wowzers. Great. I don't fucking know. Excellent. Factory new, legendary. Just to give you something to fuck around with, you know. One of these can all be 1.1 for now. These can all be 1.25, I guess. Why not? Now I just have some stuff I can apply a loop beam thing to. That being said, I've made this spread a little shit on these. These should be 0.75, I guess. It should feel slightly better, even if I am just testing it, you know. Shooting interval as well, I guess, should go down, so same for that. The mass should probably go down as well. Alright, that'll do. Just have something to work with. Shoddy, average, better. How about instead of average, we have clean, excellent, I don't know, whatever. It's heavily modified Source 2, and then they made it worse than Source 2. Is Source 2 available now? I'm guessing you can have access to the SDK if you have a project and you sign Valve's NDA. I remember the, not Jump Academy, what's it called? What's that rocket jumping game? I've already forgotten. Campus? No, it's a server. Whatever the movement game... movement mod? Momentum mod. They were originally open source, and then they had to sign an NDA with Valve so they could have access to the SDK, but that might have been Source 1. Or regular Source, or whatever. I don't know. It's a good example of your competency in being a game dev, since the game's been around so long. You have like 600 maps on rotation. It's an asymmetric PvP game with humans and zombies. You're not just making, like... well, I guess it's not Zombie Fortress. I used to play a TF2 server mod called Source Mod. What was it? What did we call the server mods in TF2? They weren't Source mods, were they? I can't remember what they were called, but there was one called Zombie Fortress I used to like. That was a long time ago. Based on the Zombie Source mod, but it's heavily different. Nice, but at least gives me like a mental image, I guess. Part of the content of tomorrow's lab is at the point where your students' heads will implode. Are you going to teach them, or are you just going to show off? I don't know what game dev company would take you. It's a company that would be hiring for competency and experience, I guess, instead of specialty with some specific tool. I guess. I can't say I was hired at my current job because of my excellence in embedded programming. That came with the job. Your knowledge, Face Punch. Only Face Punch got Source 2. There's barricading and defense of multiple spots. That's cool. Remember the TF2 one had some really basic mechanics. I don't remember if they got reinforcing working in the end, or if it was just the start of the map. Some of the levels had like planks in the way and stuff. I don't know. That sounds cool though. Okay, so I need to write something that reads this in. We've got modifiers here. We're going to go to our bloody entity. No. What did I call this? I'm too tired. Shouldn't say that because it'll make me more tired. It begins with E or A. Asset manager. That's it. I need to create a serialized version of this, I guess. Enemy data, weapon data. Alright, lad. You're going to be called weapon modifier data. You're going to have a name. You're going to have a prefix. You're going to have a rarity. I guess that can be a size T. UN 8T. I don't know. And then these can all be floats. And I'll just need to construct one of these somewhere. Do I need to have a code equivalent of this? I don't feel like I do. I don't think I need to have an enum or anything. I think this stuff can be pretty pure data. Because it'll just be the case that when you want to fire a bullet, you pull from the modifier's data and you just apply the multiplier to the weapon's base. And then if I have other components later, those can be thrown in as well. So I don't think I need to deal with any of this stuff. The only problem then is that I do have to make this a vector to the bloody heap. I mean, I could store in a piece of metadata, so yeah, whatever. You're going to show up for sure, but you're trying to keep it simple because they're learning cloud computing and the CLI is scary to them. Ooh. CD? Chmod? What do you mean chmod? Chmod? You'll be around maybe. See you, buddy. Good luck with your... whatever it is you're doing. Play this file. Let me know when you're OSUing. I've got my lad right here. Got a bit of wrist pain though, so I'm waiting for that to heal, I guess. Maybe we can do some co-op or whatever it's called. PvP? No. Multi. Anywho, let's just have a vector for now of weapon. What did I call it? Modifier data. And I'll just call that all weapon modifier data. And they'll just have to store either a pointer to their weapon data or a index in this vector. I don't really think it matters, considering the index would be a size T anyway, probably. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll just make it a... Assuming you don't... Hang on, no, if it's a pointer... Because I like the idea, because this is in JSON, we could... let me find some new music. Because it's in JSON, you could do a hot reload, but then I don't know what should happen to all the weapons that currently exist. They could have a copy of their data, but that sounds unnecessary. I'll be real. You're giving me the fucking vocals straight off the start? This is how I fail to concentrate. Okay, there we go. I think having an index is more safe, because then at least I can verify it. It does mean if you add new modifiers in the middle of... you can... Actually, that's fine, I think. Yeah, forget what I'm saying. I think it's fine. If you hot reload assets and you swap legendary around with shoddy, and it makes your gun legendary, that's actually quite handy for debug purposes. And if you take something away and that index is no longer in the vector, then that's fine as well. I can just default it to something. Okay. It's not about clean. Why don't you go for great? Great, excellent, legendary, average, shoddy. Hit. Yeah. You've decided to stop overthinking it. Oh yeah. Rusty. Okay, weapon data. Enemy data. Where's all weapon data being loaded in? It'd be cool if there was a way to somehow save a weapon between runs. I did like the nuclear throne, like you do that with gold weapons and that one weapon in the vault. I have to think about that. Alright, so it's this chunk in here. We have the if key is weapons. I'm going to do an old Control C. Check this out. Magic. I call it copy pasting. Why do I do it like this and not construct a struct that I directly fill? Am I stupid? It's very possible, right? How do you do that? I don't know, they've just forgotten. Like, I didn't even get Gemini to do it for me. I just did it with my keyboard. It stored it in my clipboard, so obviously all that data went off to Gemini anyway, but whatever. Whatever fucking Microsoft's one's called. Chumbud. I don't know. Modifiers. Weapon. Modifier data. Data. They're fucking preloaded with information, idiot. Alright, we're gonna have our data. And then I'm gonna go... Whee! As long as we have a float in here, I'll be happy. We got float and we want a string. I think that's it. And a size T, I guess. You're a string. Wowzers trousers. Microslot makes Copilot because they want to fly you into a brick wall. Which copilot? Yeah, why was I doing this stuff so weirdly before? If you are doing your project and you never have that fucking question to your past self, think very carefully. I hope that when you read your old code, you are also like, what was he thinking? By he, you know, insert your own flavor. I think this is faster than Control-D'ing everything. Hold on, why don't you use boost to give yourself a boost? Question. Hey, Manus. The project's delayed, you may need an hour meeting to discuss, another follow-up meeting till tomorrow, and then another meeting in advance of the meeting. I hope this email finds you well, sir. You heavily abuse OpenCode. What is OpenCode? Is that an open model? Our company doesn't have an open model yet. It's Claude, whatever the latest one is. The open source agent. Do you train it on your own data or what? Free models from any provider. Oh, I guess you just feed it whatever. Where's its training data come from? Your job quickly changed from DevOps blah 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 to AI product engineer. Yeah, it is what it is. It's why I'm very happy that I've got this hobby, because otherwise the amount of code I'd be writing would be a lot less than I'm reviewing. Remembered all your past code, and after a certain point you've hit a style you're content with. My problem is I started this project 6 years ago, and I can't say that when I started it I was very good at C++, and I can't say I'm very good at C++ now, so if that gives you an idea of the horrors. You're not happy where you are and you'll be quitting. Oh shit. Nice job title though, that'll help you with the next job. Also, I know you're a smarty pants, so you'll do good in interviews too. I should imagine. You seem like a proper lad. Proper lad. Yeah, so originally I was putting the index somewhere there. What I'm instead going to do is say, I don't need to do any of this make shared nonsense, don't need any of this. God, what was I doing? Aye. Look, it's simples really. Just delete this nonsense, don't even bother trying to fix it. Just do all weapon... Oh, what was it? All modifier? What did I call that? All weapon modifier data. Get fucking turned into him. Dot in place? Alright, we can push back. I think. Push back. Data. Wow. This one has vocals. Fucking YouTube's gonna slaughter me. You made the job title yourself. Really? You didn't make yourself a senor. I forgot to ask, how have you been doing in the heat? Lindley. Or is the heat not that different? You aren't like having the same heat wave we are in... You have a fan on, you're melting. Okay. You don't have aircon then, I guess. Yeah, I should... Ah, God, this is disgusting. Some other time. Alright, we've got weapon modifiers. YouTube chap is in... I have an emoji for this. You're watching your dad try and use his fucking smartphone. How about this one? You want to be a const, don't you? Yeah, I knew a little guy. Static? Huh? Are you in the fucking anonymous namespace? Where's your fucking... Do you not exist? I think this is old. This is from like when I had text boxes and stuff. You know what? Come back. I missed you. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you are used here, I guess, technically. What the hell? You question your own genius, old code. Sometimes you try to change, realize we did in the first place, and apologize. I have done that. I've done that. Okay, so in Entity Factory, spawn weapon. Spawn ground weapon. I guess. Right, anyway, I'm gonna have a function somewhere that gives you a rarity. Well, it should be a size T. Generate weapon rarity. Return 0. Wow. Index. How's that look? You know what? I love you so much, you can be const. Get that. You know what? No discard. There's a send that a message. Send it a message to all the fucking developers out there. Don't discard it. Wasteful. The weapon itself. You, little guy. You should have a weapon rarity index on you somewhere. I don't know. Size T, weapon modifier index. Default to 0, little guy. I'm not spawning you in here either, am I? When are you getting created? I guess when the entity is created. When is this constructor called? Tell me. Create weapon. I knew that you existed. It's called create weapon, not spawn weapon. I guess it is create, not spawn. Fair dues. Dot index. Oh, it has a constructor. Well, whatever. What should I call it? You don't know what this means yet, but you'll know in the future when I've compiled you. So for now, every weapon's going to be a 0. Now, it's funny that I'm calling it a prefix when there's no text in the game. Don't think about it. You know what I'm going to do? You get used when I spawn one in game. No. Quality. It is a quality modifier, yeah. Whatever. Because they're not all going to modify these. Like, there might be, like, heavy that just makes the mass of it 20 trillion or something. It doesn't affect anything else. You know, they don't all have to impact these. I just have in this example. Anywho, giant weapon quality index. Static in last index equals 0. Const auto next rarity equals last index. Ah, you're an int, right? Become -1. Check out this stuff. So this should just cycle 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's kind of annoying. Nah, it doesn't work because it's meant to cap out. Because I don't actually randomly generate it yet. I'd rather it just did them one at a time so I could see how they looked. So I'm just going to say if last index. Does that work? Does that work? Does that work? Increment it. Tell me if it's gone up. Question mark? Oh no, it's an exclamation mark. We have the one that tells you in it reviews your GitHub pull requests for you, and about half the time it hallucinates, which is better than it used to be. But you spend so much fucking time reading like utter nonsense. They're right when they say this shit doesn't work with embedded. It's kind of weird that you're defining all of this stuff in static code. Kind of weird that you're not refusing to use the heap. Why is this const? Just like fuck off, little robot. It hates const. Who fucking trained this thing? Reddit? Anyway, moving on. We're getting a random index, and you know what we're gonna do with it? You know what we're gonna do? In render, actor system. We're gonna draw a weapon. Weapon depth, right? This is the weapon. Eto, Anno, Eto, Tint. I don't think I'm using tint color here, am I? Epic, Ebin. Switch, weapon. Index. Case 0. There we go, something like that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, default. Well, default doesn't need to do shit. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do green, blue, purple, or orange, or red. I don't know. This song's very beautiful, but I am gonna get fucking killed by the YouTube ninjas, so I'm not gonna let that get away with me. You can listen to Sorosaki Hina's beautiful concert in your own time. You write your own lab slides. You can neatly export it to a nice HTML slides file. Emacs org mode. You're a little Emacs user, aren't you? Alright, let's see. Tint color. I'm not breaking. No! Don't fall through! No! Expected an array. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. What was that all about? What music platform am I using? I'm currently listening to youtube.com. Blue Archive OST playlist for healing and relaxing. Entity weapons JSON. Expected a array. Expected an array. Nice. Oh? I put you in the wrong spot? Oh, shite. Hang on. Oh, wait, you are an array. You are big on Emacs, yeah. You say it's been a part of your personality at this point. Is it not part of your personality for like a while? Hang on, I need to shove this into some fucking JSON formatter or something, because this looks normal to me. Asset manager. Weapons. Let's see. So on property weapons, on property... Oh, it's called weapons. You should be called modifiers. Easy to find. Just use your fucking brain for 2 seconds. An expected item in bagging area. God, this tea is disgusting. I can't believe I made it. I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. Why am I like this? I'm so tired. Expected a comma somewhere. Or are you missing a comma? $1976. This is a fucking comma. Let me have a look at my other JSON file, maybe. And you do parse array. You do parse array. I guess I can do a breakpoint as well. Hey, Wesley. Oh, I didn't even get here. Oh, should you be else if? How do I normally do this stuff? I guess I do else if. No, that's not it. Else if. I mean, that's fine. I'm guessing it just hit the else here and did skip value. Because it wasn't modifiers or something. I don't know. 3 years ago. Wait. I am my item's rarity? That's fucking sick. Yeah, it's not quite right. Some of you guys do not have an item rarity. I guess it's white. But you can see, right? You are what you loot. That's a good name for a game. Well, anyway, look, we've got item rarities now. They currently don't do anything, so we can fix that pretty quick. Actually, I should make it so your character doesn't look like this. You can have that one for free. No, I was going with, Robotomy? Maybe I'll start using that. Robotomy? Whoa, 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 whoa. Robotomy. I don't know if it should be lowercase or uppercase, but you can think about that one in your own time. I fucking love this tune, dude. Woolen's wacky weapons. Where have you been my whole life? Your crush blocked you. That's rough. Horrid news. Tint color. What? Oh, I'm dumb. Could have told you that one. Stop talking to yourself. Something like this. Weapon tint color. Wow. Was there any BA update? I didn't play this week, so it was just a repeat. I've already got Yuka Jammies. Oh, that's rough, Wesley. Where's my rubber ducky? You guys. Where's your obsession with GTA 6? Stop giving them free advertising on my indie game stream. Oh, I should do this in the HUD as well. Hang on. Stop for a second. Weapon modifier, tint color. You can be a color. Download 300 megabytes. Go for it, BA. Y'all got one of these things from IKEA on your desk? The little chair, and like you can put like your Shigeru Uis in there, and like she sits just fine. Sure. You can put your like Hollow the Wise Wolf in there. Like yeah, she's fine. Like she's just chill. You know what it's really for? It's for your smartphone. You can shove your smartphone in there. And, like it just fucking holds it. It's fucking nuts. I'm not watching your streamer right now. Apparently I am watching your stream, that was an accident. Unique items. Okay, great. I just wanted you to download the fucking files. 50 megabytes, damn. Alright, anyway, no discard. No, maybe this could be on weapon data index. I don't know, whatever, who cares, I can move it. Get weapon modifier color. Advanced. I mean, this could be somewhere else as well. I'll leave it on here for now. Life moves on, right? And then we'll go to render actor system. Wee. Hang on a moment. Something like that. Get weapon modifier color, should call it. Something like that. This will probably get moved. I mean, obviously this stuff could also be pulled out of the JSON file as well. But for now, it's kind of uncertain where this stuff's going to be. What's the current fucking event in this game? What is this shit? Is this a new... That's a new story. Cool. Something wrong. Return pink. Wow, now that's clean. Ish. Freedom, yeah, black. Don't know. Something's wrong. Thank you, Ellie. And a HUD system. And we got our weapon here. You. No, that's not it. Weapon, selected weapon, blah, 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 blah. This thing, tint color. Come on. You're gonna annoy me until I compile, aren't you? What we can say is we can be even simpler here. I think this is the only place we're using selected weapon. Well, it's this as well, but that's fine. If I is not equal to selected weapon, then base weapon tint dot set alpha compile whatever. We're dying to play his game. One day. One day. All the work you see me doing is building up to it being playable. One day. You've logged in 3 Pomodoro sessions while being here. Is that the 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off thing, or whatever? You've become very corporate, Lindley. Where's your whimsy? Talk to me. You do 20-10 splits. You take 10 minutes breaks. That's bonkers. I assume so we can just call this weapon tint. That works, and then down somewhere else we're drawing that weapon as well. Maybe even just the same. That's just this. So we've got origin, tint color, weapon, get weapon modifier color. That's behind the wrong curly brace. This will work. Your whimsy is the reason you'll quit your job is because you spun a roulette wheel and landed on 17 black. You didn't put all your money on it. Blame. You put it all on. Oh, damn. What job are you think you're moving to? Not like I'm your boss or anything. Alright, let's see. Just tinting it directly doesn't really work, but it'll do for now until I care to do something different. The plan was kind of for the weapons to actually have like a tint baked into the weapon type of the color palette to change. But this'll do for now. Oh, ground weapons don't use it. It's like when shinies don't show you that they're shiny. Like this. Either accept your job as a hired teacher's assistant, or you become Job Ubuntu. What would you like to do? Becoming John Ubuntu sounds useful. Would you have to move? Ubuntu. Who are they by? Canonical. Where is Canonical based? It's remote. Headquartered in London, England? I know where that is. Austin and Boston. Shanghai, Beijing, and Taipei. Tokyo. Canonical is it a UK company? The HQ's in the UK, but that doesn't mean it's a UK company. Why didn't you add another playable character? It's not relevant right now. There is another playable character. They don't do anything. Like, you know, there's... You can add a new character as simply as just adding a new element in this big JSON array. Character 3. You just have to draw all the sprites and change all the stats and stuff, but it's doable. It's just not relevant right now. We're doing engine work. Anywho, this'll do for now. There's this page called Flavors with a U based. Hey, Donut. Damn. Will I ever release the source code? Probably not for a long time, no. Not being able to get a dev job is depressing. That's the world. Shouldn't have used Claude that one time. What? How long have I been doing this? Like 6 years or so? Anyway, I'm fucking around a little bit. Am I? No, I'm not. What happened? The Woolen engine. Does it have no name? Robotomy. I think Robotomy looks kind of cute. I like it. Good night, Lindley. Keep it real. A common fucking revolver. Wowzers trousers. I guess red is the rare yellow you can see in this screen here. Hello, Tom Bowser. Donut, check this out. You see it? It's a sine wave where I've multiplied the innards of time by frequency and then multiplied the output of that by amplitude, and then I've fed that into easings.net's ease in out sine function. Do you see all these things on the floor? The weapons have rarities now, which you can come up with in a text file. Or modifiers, at least. Rhymes with lobotomy? That's crazy. You think so? I wonder if that has relevance to the game. Think about it. I feed the output of the sine wave to an easing function to make the bob a little smoother. Do I not need to do that? Because I like the idea of being able to adjust the amplitude and the frequency, but then also making the output nice. Maybe it's not necessary? I liked how it looked. Naruhodo? You don't like it? I like it. Oh, you thought it would look a bit like that on its own. I found it didn't look very good. I can show you. It didn't look super nice. It's OpenGL under the hood. If Donut ever decides to release version 3, it'll be Vulkan. He just apparently can't think of a name. It sounds not like LibDonut. Yeah, I think this looks worse, myself. I don't know if you can see on stream, but it, like, jitters weirdly. You can still be OpenGL if you want. Wow. My users will love that one. Amazing. Anyway, I prefer it with the easing function, even if all it's doing is squishing it down at the end. So it doesn't jitter. It jitters? It jitters. Can you believe it? I think it jitters just because it gets stuck between a couple of pixels. Oh, God. I'm all bruised and shit, dude. Why is the floor hard? Tell me. Anyway, moving on. I just thought this was cool. You don't need to pick it apart. Mega Bonk. I'd like to think of it as my own original creation. No, but really, though. Doesn't Mega Bonk come out like last year? Didn't Mega Bonk remind you of Woho? Robotomy, sorry. Need to start using a different name. If that is the name we'll go with. I do like it. Mega Bonk and not the 2D game Mega Bonk is based on. Is it called Saturn Bonk or something? No, wait, Mega Drive came before Dreamcast? I fucking... Was Mega Drive the first Sega? No. Sega Mega Drive. What predated the Sega Mega Drive? Was it just their arcade machines? I know they had like the Game Gear, but that was later. That was the one that took like 50 AA batteries, or Ds or something. Anyway. Let's make the weapon rarity thing do something. Weird way to get to factory by typing in actor. Alright, brain. Aye. Spawn bullet. Alright. We're gonna get the weapon data in. So I'm not gonna pass in the weapon type anymore. See if that breaks something. Spawn bullet. There you are. Alright, and then you're coming in from where exactly? The SNES. SNES was Nintendo. I should just call this weapon. Alright, this is where we have to do some stuff. Const auto. Let's try and do this. If weapon dot blah 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 is less than or equal, less than or equal to, less than, yeah, less than size. Auto weapon modifier. That could be a ref. Weapon modifier data. Mods. Mod data is weapon mod data. Weapon mod. Let's just call it weapon mod modifier data. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do this, and then in Asset Manager, when we're loading that in, I have to assert that that at least has something in it. Weapon modified data to pushback. And then when that's all done, we have to say assert that size. Oh, just empty. It's not empty. You're a function, aren't you? Alright, so we're always going to have one thing in there. I'm just going to move on with my life here. Now, tell me, is there a fancy way to do this, or is this just fine? Is there an STD standard ranges view default, if not there? Probably, right? Maybe? Like, is there like, it was like try to get at index. I don't know, whatever, this works for now. Who's calling me? That's my phone. No, okay, well this is fine then. Could even shove an assert in here, but I'm not gonna bother doing that every time I spawn a bullet. Let the world crash if somehow this gets emptied between loading in stuff and now. The rogue rocket hits that vector. I actually want to get a pointer because right now you're assigning to the first weapon data, am I? Yes, I am. Good point. And then I just want to do a... What's that called again? Make shared? No. Oh, some like bullshit like this. I can never fucking remember this fucking rubbish. Just wrap it in a fucking pointer or some shit. Nah, that's not it. You can tell there's something going in here. I know we had this problem the other day. I just don't remember fucking basic vector shit. Some nonsense you can do here with this bullshit. I thought this was just address of. Pointing to the address of. Why don't we just do that, right? No, I'm not allowed. You keep a... You could keep it a reference if you use the blow operator. Yeah, that works as well. I never actually thought this would give me fucking value other than just being based as hell, you know? What was the pointer syntax I was looking for earlier? How's Apex with the boys? We played it for like 4 hours. It was insane. I had fun. How are you doing, Bowser? The cases are inverted. Wait, but when I tried typing the ampersand object didn't work. Or did I need to wrap brackets around it to get the address of to work? Question mark. Got a bit of an upset stomach. That's rough. I've been a little poorly too. I don't know what it is. Right, ricochet multiplier is equal to 1. I want to do this differently. I basically want to say if ricochet is max ricochets is default to 0. Hang on a moment. AC broke. Oh. Little lolly unofficial. Little puddle of sweat. That's horrid. .35 degrees C, 94% humidity. You're in a shower. Speaking of things breaking, you've changed the gas springs on the boot of your car. You thought you'd have to pay an arm and a leg for repairs, but apparently they're €10. Yeah, sometimes car shit's like really weirdly cheap, and I don't trust them. Beautiful. Where am I? I don't think the rarity needs to adjust the inflamed heat, does it? No. Ah. Lovely. Maybe? Hmm. Probably not, no. I think RAM's going to be up for a very long time. You want to know when ice cream will be back to normal? Probably when you stop enjoying it, it'll go back to being cheap again. Could have thought about some of this stuff in advance. Oh, whatever. I've changed some things for now. The damage should change at least. Maybe. Yeah. Sorry. I'm hyper-focused. Yeah. The only way to get work done. Multipler. Oh. Hmm. It should probably just store a reference to its own modifier data on it. No, it might be a pain. I guess we normally store a shared pointer to weapon, don't we? Modified data thing. I mean, it could mirror. That might save us a little something. Yeah, I'm gonna do this before I do a massive refactor. Yeah, but I'm thinking I should do this as well for the for this. I'm realizing I've already got a pattern solved. I should make use of it. That's so much neater. Nice. Huh? Hello, Goboto. Looks good. How's my mood? A little tired. I'm quite achy. I got work tomorrow, but I'm alright. Why not call your engine the Woolen engine and give it branding? Branding for who? I'm not distributing it. What is already in the engine? Lots. I'm kind of too tired for this, I'll be honest. There's enemies and players and walls and tiles and destructible stuff and drops and bullets and collisions and drawing and a HUD and inputs and procedural generation and auto tiling and sprites and textures and shaders and all sorts. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, there's quite a lot. It's a big project. Have the playlist? Sure. There you go. Tommy sending me his Pal World bass, if you're wondering what the Discord sound was. Thank you, pass me. You want to make a game engine or framework for Android? What language and tools can you recommend? Kotlin and Android Studio are a good place to start. What is no discard? It's a flag to say that you should not ignore the result of that function. So if you're giving a float, if you don't immediately assign it to something, you'll get a little warning. You're currently reading a scientific paper with the text, we assume the Earth is flat. That's sky rendering. Everything is a sphere, there is no friction. Multi-login game online. What are you saying, Men Kim? Think about your question. Game online is server on. Source code multi-login for client side, not server side. I don't know. I'm not a search engine. You might want to try Googling. Are you having trouble writing multiplayer code? Because I can't help you with that. I have never written multiplayer code. Sounds like fun though. What? Why did they call it oven something? Well, I'm not a search engine. Try this one. There's gonna be somewhere I'm forgetting to call this using the modifier and it's just gonna be broken forever, right? This looks fun to me. Hello, Ahmed. What am I doing? I was working on weapon attribute modifiers, so like rarity levels. So you'd have some weapons that are rarer, they do more damage or whatever. So that's requiring a little bit of a rejigging. A necessary one. How do you become obsessed with programming? I can't answer that. Find something you enjoy about it. If you want to be cynical, find something that gives you dopamine. Reload cooldown, weapon data, reload interval. Do I have a maid uniform and thigh-high socks? I fucking wish. Instead I'm wearing a bloody t-shirt, like an idiot. I think I'd look pretty great in a maid uniform and thigh-high socks. I need to work on my biceps, though. If I don't have huge muscles, I won't be able to punch the patrons coming into the bar. You know how it is. Compiler will optimize this for me anyway, but you know, live and let live. Let's see. We might have done it. Let's see. Will you port your game to Nintendo? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know how you get something on the Switch. What's your playlist? I'm just listening to this right now. I have a general playlist somewhere on my YouTube channel called like Instrumentals to Stream To. Oh shit, it works. You see this like red revolver? Hang on, I need to find a terrible revolver to compare it with. I also think guns are not spawning with a they're not spawning with a bullet, which I meant to fix earlier, but I forgot. Anyway, if I give myself a revolver, you see here I've got a regular revolver. Here I've got like an ultra rare cool revolver. You can actually see the stats are different, right? The ultra rare cool revolver does quite a bit more damage. It reloads a lot faster. The bullets are a lot faster. They ricochet. Although the ricochet isn't showing up on the screen because they're not based on components. I need to fix that. But check this out. So this is like a legendary revolver. This is obviously a little OP, let's say. Oh my god. The right click is insane. Alright, I think I'm onto something. Yeah, there's the difference between the like super amazing legendary gun and like the bog standard. This might even be like a crappy one, I think. It even weighs a little more, so it comes out a little slower. And you can see it just shooting normally. Shooting normally, yeah, very normal, very balanced, very interesting and normal. Yeah, you're not going to get much with this one. Switch to the legendary red one. This goes absolutely fucking bonkers. Look at that shit. Are your tile maps entity objects? No, they're not. Wait. No, they're not. They're not. If this tile map was made of entity objects, then the game would not run at like a decent frame rate. It would run very, very, very badly. As you can see when I use like a flamethrower, just a handful of particles in debug mode is enough to... Well, this doesn't look that bad right now, actually, but usually a handful of particles is enough to kind of make the game go a little funny. Just because it's like a few thousand or a few hundred even more entities that are unoptimized. Little debug symbols or whatever the fuck. But, let's see. So this is a blue. This is like a decent rocket launcher. You can compare that to the red one. Oh my god. Okay, am I shooting... What's that? Oh, they're ricocheting. I've never seen a ricocheting rocket launcher. I guess that works. It's OpenGL backend. At the very back, yeah. I'm using LibDonut to handle that though. Dude, I hadn't considered the implications of a ricocheting rocket launcher. Because of course it just works. You know, like the ricochet code doesn't care if it's a rocket or not. Your game will have loot boxes. What made you come to that conclusion? What do you mean, so your game will have loot boxes? What do you mean? What part of this makes you think there's loot boxes? Dude, the fucking red rocket launcher is awesome. Do I have a red sniper rifle? Can I compare that to a normal one? When you're implementing microtransactions, well, I wasn't going to, but if you sound so excited about it, I can implement expensive hats. Alright, I accidentally seem to have made the sniper rifle have infinite ammo because it's a common sniper rifle, so it has less than one on its, what should I say, magazine size, so it's defaulted to having an infinite magazine like the knife. So I probably should fix that. You gotta make money with the game somehow. I mean, I was gonna sell it on Steam at some point, but I don't know. I think microtransactions in single-player games are kind of stupid. Make the game pay to win. It's like a single-player roguelite. Oh my god, the ricocheting sniper rifle. Well, we've obviously never had a ricocheting sniper rifle, so this is a new problem, but the particle effect for when it ricochets is not updating the angle it should be taking. Obviously, it fixes itself after the second bounce, because at that point it usually will go back on the same trajectory as before. It's actually crazy that, like, the legendary sniper rifle reloads so fast, it's like the same as the infinite ammo default sniper rifle. It's crazy. This is how you get your dopamine, though. You see one of these things on the floor and you're like, alright, I'm fucking set. Not to say I've spent any time whatsoever on balance, but... You know, you can associate the color red right now with good. Until I come up with a better solution. Just makes life a little more interesting. Man, the float is kind of nice as well. Loot boxes and microtransactions. Hell yeah. You know me well, chat. I love loot boxes and microtransactions. It's one of my favorite things. I didn't really change anything, did I? Increase the enemy spawn chance. There's a lot of enemies. That's too many enemies. Make less. Make less of them. Yeah, it's just ever so slightly unoptimized on the debug build, let's say. And it really is just the debug symbols. Like, I've tried, like, taking the enemy, like, turning off the enemy AI and, like, taking off their weapons and not drawing them and, like, making them do nothing. Just having those entities on the screen is enough to cause problems. People are somehow still shooting on empty. Something is busted there. I should check the weapon system. Maybe weapon data has got a different name there or something. Or it's calculating it wrong. Oh yeah, look, you seem to be able to shoot on empty sometimes. That's a problem. Alright, let's fix that stuff. It's nice though, right? Now there's like actively a difference. Actually a difference in between weapons. So we're obviously starting here with weapon data dot bullets per shot. So why is this stuff being missed? I guess I was checking for dot and not arrow. I think you should make an isometric RPG one day. Why do you say that one? Why do you what gives you that suggestion? Oh fuck. I'm so fucking bruised, dude. With the Woolen engine, my non-isometric game engine. Optimized for a orthographic, whatever this perspective is, tile game. I think isometric stuff is actually like a massive pain in the ass. Okay, it was nice how well that was working even with these potential issues. Let's see. Weapon data, actor system. You're all fine. Yeah, I thought there would be more I had to do. You look fine. Yeah. Hmm. Where's this other stuff that's causing problems? This isn't it? Might just be the case that the multiplier is breaking. It will be fun to solve it and you will expand your engine too. I disagree. I think it would be really tedious and I don't really want to do that. I mean, part of me does. Isometric stuff's interesting, but drawing the sprites in isometric, it fucking suck. It's so hard. It's so much harder than otherwise. I have other stuff. I think when I'm done with this project in 100 years, I'll do something else. I haven't painted my Warhammer in a while. Let's see. Robotomy the RPG where it all began. What part of my creative process had given you the imagination that I have any imagination or ability to write stories? I don't know if I've ever shown off my ability to write, or lack thereof. Right. That should fix that. Hmm. It should be okay. All right, that should help. Hmm. Something's wrong. What was it? It was when I was right-clicking with the revolver, though, when it was like a high level, it was letting me like cancel. Is that it? Hmm. I guess in this case, the alt fire interval was faster. Something's broken with it. I don't really know what though. Ugh. Yellow looks kind of like golden. Like, that makes it seem fancier, doesn't it? Or orange, I guess. Does the comma not work? Why does the comma look like that? No, wait, that should be a slash for out of. Why does it look like that? Hmm. In fact, some of the sprites do just look a little off. Maybe I accidentally deleted some of them. I think all the dots consistently look kind of off. I must have just deleted some text at some point. Oh my god, dude, the SMG is crazy. Maybe I should deal with weapons a bit more like Vermintide. That might be interesting. You could have marksman's, automatics, close range, melee, that sort of thing. This thing absolutely blasts stuff. It's crazy. Incendiary bullets, perfect. Perfect for my frame rate. Yeah, something's wrong with the auto reload. If I hold R, does that change something? It's really weird. You still seem to be able to shoot while you're right-clicking. That's definitely breaking something. Hmm. I think I must have changed the calculation I'm somehow using to decide if you can still shoot. I think I've switched something I shouldn't have. Let's have a look. Get reload interval. Get bullet speed. Damage. Magazine. Shooting interval. Alt fire. Shooting. Bullet speed. These all look normal. Obviously you're new. Bread. I don't really check. I guess they'll be... Well, hang on. We can easily test such things. We make the spread multiplier 0.1, 0.3, 0.7, 1. I don't know. 1.5, whatever. Let's see. Spread, bullet speed, modifier data. Looks okay. Etc. That looks normal. Maybe it broke in here? Is it the case now that the reload interval is somehow shorter than the No, that shouldn't matter. I'm not really sure what's breaking. I think it's just some logic when you are bullets to fire. It's somehow letting you shoot when you shouldn't be, let's be honest. It seems to... Yeah, that's really the case, huh? So if you're reloading, then fine, they can discard a thing. It's not switching. This is when it expels the casing, that's fine. Oh, I need to remember that the weapon should spawn with, let's say, shots remaining is get magazine size. Let's do that. Oh. Sure. I hope that works. We'll find out, I guess. Just realized that it's like midnight. My music ended again. It seems to spawn with a bullet. I don't know where the text is off. I'll have to fix that tomorrow. I can't be asked to launch Aspirate right now. want to pick up a grey gun and like confirm that it's the spread is worse. It looks worse to me. It also feels worse, which is kind of the point. Although I know that it should be the default. Like the slow gun should really just be 1 with all the modifiers, and everything else should just be top on top of that, but you know. Seems to work. You can still shoot in the middle of an alt fire. Maybe you could always do that, I just never tested it. I don't like that it sometimes seems to let you shoot an extra time. Why is that? It seems to know that you can't. That might help. Anyway, I should probably look to stop it soon. It's been 3 hours. We've made some good progress. I need to find a shotgun. You'll do. It helped. That doesn't actually seem to have helped. No, you can still... I don't know why it does that. It's not triggering the auto reload. Or it is. I need to work out what that is. Like, this should be triggering auto reload. If the magazine size is 0, you return 0. Otherwise, you return a static cast. Why are you being cast to a float? Oh. That makes sense. That should still be okay, I think. Maybe cooldown buffer needs to be a little higher, but that doesn't really help, I think. Maybe it helps. I mean, attack cooldown could just be reset back to... Why would I not reset that? You got min between reloading and attack cooldown. I don't know. A revolver behaves. I need to work out why I have this. Maybe just reset. That seems maybe okay. Something's extra wrong. Hello, hello. Okay, that's not helping. I'll leave it like this for now. I need to go to bed. I've got work in the morning. So hello, Donj. I'm gonna head off. I made some good progress today. Weapons can now have modifiers on them, so you can have like a legendary gun or whatever, like this revolver that shoots 1 trillion times a second. Some stuff still needs to be fixed. Something about these massive modifiers seems to have broken the animation and reload stuff. I don't know quite why. Need to make sure. I need to fix that, I guess. Oh, that's new. When you get an upgrade, it'll float up and down. It will like clip in front of and behind you as well. You make game? I make game, yes. And I'm also going to go make to sleep. Is there an enemy zipping across the screen at like 1 trillion miles an hour right now? What? Oh no, it's the gun. Why on earth is it doing that? It's probably this. I don't know. No, it's not this. I don't know. We'll fix this next time. Thanks for watching, chat. See you next time. Bye bye. Good night.